Hello, 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 and welcome to the Quiver channel. I am Jason, your host. Yes, I am Jason, your host. Right, phone's over there. Take my
Hello,
time. Hello.
just your coffee. There you
You sound like you've just woken up.
go. Yeah, I have.
You're streaming live, but you know
Hello.
that. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I know. Yeah,
You sound so sleepy. I
yeah,
should be
yeah.
the one. I should be the one who's sleepy. I mean, after Munchies and the weekend and that, I should be totally wasted. I got like 4 hours since Friday night. 4 hours sleeping
Oh
total.
God. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah.
Okay, I like this mod mic. It allows me to walk around the kitchen and that and keep talking to people and walk around the
It
house and
sounds
everything.
good now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've got the washers on in the background as well, so it's got pretty good noise cancelling as well.
Oh
So
really? Yeah, I can't hear it at all.
I'm just going to do the potatoes, put them in, put some carrots in. I've got a washing on because it's the one day this week where there's no rain. So I'm going to try and get some
Uh,
washing outside for the one day
okay.
that we might actually not have rain.
Thanks for letting me know. I'll also do that because I was gonna do my washing. Um, yeah. Um, I spent all day basically cleaning yesterday. I just still didn't finish. I just wanted to clean my room properly and like absolutely everything dusted and wiping, clean every surface.
Yeah,
Not bleach, but scrub the carpets. Really shampoo the carpets. Um,
that's.
and vacuum them.
I'll just
Yeah.
put the carrots on and some cabbage in with them. Now, I mean, I think you're thinking about the right thing. When it comes to the first car you have, it's never going to be
Mhm.
perfect. But yeah, having your granddad go with you to actually check it out, because he's a car
Mhm.
user as well. So
Yeah.
you want someone like that with you. This is the problem with buying on eBay. If they deliver it, you haven't been able
It's
to check
yeah.
it before you've paid.
You commit to
Yeah. And
yeah.
those two, I did check on them and I couldn't. I know it's not like other stuff on eBay where you sell lots of things, but one of them is an actual forecourt car dealer and they've got like zero sales on their account as if they've switched account. They've
Yeah.
got, and that worries me because if they're an established business and they're selling
Yeah.
cars on eBay, then they would have more than one sale. They would have, if they just felt a bit alarm bells on that. Even though the car looked good, the car did look good.
Mhm.
And like I said, you're not looking for perfect because you won't get perfect on your first car, especially an old car, an older car.
Yeah, a 20-year-old car or a
But
10-year-old car.
you can get one that is, like I said, like the Hyundai and that things that are basically. I mean, most Asian cars are freaking amazing. They're so much more
Hmm.
reliable than British cars. And American cars are okay,
Oh
but
yeah.
American cars are only built for going in straight lines and are never as efficient. Well, look at their roads. American cars
Yeah,
are
that's
fine in a
true.
straight
Like
line.
Fred.
It's why they're even their fast cars, they're fast, the GTs and that. They're
Hmm.
okay on a straight road because they're built for that. But you try take them round an oval or round a corner, and
Yeah.
they're not good cars, and they're
Well,
heavy.
because the fuel and oil slashes around or something.
Yeah, and they have a lot, and they have massive fuel tanks because Americans can afford it because their fuel has always been cheaper than ours. But
Remember when the fuel prices went insane?
yeah,
I was in America at that time, and I calculated. Looked when I was in Vegas. I looked at the prices of the fuel tanks, and I calculated how much it cost, and it was half as much as it was for us, and they were whinging and whining about the price.
yeah. Yeah, any American who goes to the UK to visit and hires a car really gets a
Uh-huh.
head up of what it's like for us, for our with
Yeah.
our import duty and everything, and fuel tax and on top that ramps everything up.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Jonathan said the right same thing. I know that American motorbikes, Harley Davidsons, and all that are amazing,
Mhm.
beautiful. The Indian motorbikes, all those kind of things. Nothing like them for straight line cruising. But you cannot turn a corner in them at any speed, and they aren't even built for turning corners. Whereas Japanese motorbikes, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Honda, are beautiful. I've used them all on fields, motoring around,
Yeah.
and they're brilliant. You can basically do anything on them, and they're very, very, very fuel efficient and very reliable. So, yeah, I would always go with an Asian car these days
Yeah.
because the
Well,
reliability, the parts, you can easily get parts from most Hyundai, Toyota. It's just better, sadly. Even though I love the Fords, I love Ford Cortinas, and I love the Mark One, and I
mhm.
love even the XR3i and all that kind of thing, and the boy racer cars and the Sierra, and the nice cars. Never buy a Sierra or a Sierra Cosworth. Never buy one of them.
Never
Love.
heard of one.
Um, Type in Ford Sierra. It's a really nice car it's in the noughties as well. It's a big car.
Hmm.
Ford, if you want the luxury one, you go for the Sierra Cosworth. This we are talking beautifully done car for between the 2000s and 2010. The problem is nearly every single Sierra Cosworth and Sierra was owned by salesmen, double glazed salesmen, and they thrashed them to get to their jobs. It was known
Yeah.
as the car that was used by thingy. So if you ever see one of them for sale, you want to get one that's low mileage. But the Sierra and the Sierra Cosworth are very, very comfortable. In fact, the Sierra Cosworth, you can get up to about 120 mile an hour on the motorway and not even notice you're moving. The suspension and that
Okay.
is that good. Leather interiors, gorgeous. But
Yeah.
most of them have been thrashed to within an inch of their life as sales company cars that are just used until they're dead and then sent out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. Yeah. Saw something about
yeah,
how
Jonathan, yeah.
I
Go on.
saw something about how revving up an engine before the oils heated up properly really fuck things up. And
Yeah,
also, as your car ages, like especially the rubber parts, they become like more brittle and stuff. And just because things are moving to like the piston rods and all that shit, if you start revving things up, whereas and like because a lot of the valves basically have springs that will um like open and close it. If you start revving shit upwards, uh, it, the timings can become misaligned
yeah.
basically because of the springs. They're not able to keep things
Now,
in
whatever car you
time.
get, and I think they still do them, you might be
Mm.
worth getting a Haynes manual for it.
Hey, oh, you're talking about the old
I think they
uh
still do them for new
yeah,
cars, even for Asian cars. And if you've got one of those manuals and you read it, you know pretty much everything about your car.
my granddad has Hayden's manuals in his attic here for
Yeah,
like other things, and they kind of immune with the Hayden's
but they
manuals.
are.
I know they're good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
Let's have
just
a
to
look.
go. I'm on Auto Trader because I wanted to see Ford.
Yeah,
So how
there's
much
always
is?
Hayden's
I want to.
manuals.
Okay, I want to look at. I just want to see how much a Ford Sierra. Okay, Ford Sierra Cosworth 24,000. Oh God, they're still expensive, but they're gorgeous.
How much are they?
24,000 for. I mean, I'll show
That,
you. I'll show you a picture of one.
yeah, let's have a look.
I'll put it into the
Yeah,
Discord.
the channel chat, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a really nice looking Ford Sierra Cosworth.
Let's have a look. Hang on, it's asking me about cookies and stupid things. Right, 25k,
Nice.
1989, 136,000 miles, 5 previous owners, random petrol.
These are like ones that are like almost classed as reverent. To have one of these that isn't totally destroyed, and they actually are a beautiful car to drive.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like the look of it.
yeah,
That car, that style of car, which is like the shape of them, the kind of
they're used as rally
like
cars in there
straight.
as well. Yeah, they're used as rally
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
cars and race day cars because you can mod them to hell, and
Well,
there's
that's it's
the
not really a
chassis.
city car, is
Yeah,
it? Because
the
it's kind of
chassis is
far around.
amazing. The chassis is amazing. Um,
Yeah.
so you can basically build anything onto it, and it will.
Mm-hmm.
So just put food on. There we are. The food's on. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So there's some really nice cars out there, but for your first one, yeah, something like a Hyundai and that, or Toyota, anything like that, because the parts
Yeah.
are available and
Mm-hmm.
they're built for the kind of journeys that you do between work and home, but they can
Yeah.
handle long distance. They're not the kind of cars that will fall apart if you try to take it to visit me, for
Go on the
example.
motorway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can handle
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you want something that's reliable. It doesn't need to be flash. That's the whole point. A good car,
Huh.
like those kind of thing. I mean, of course, you've got all. If you go down the Toyota route, you've got all the. I think it's the really nice ones that all.
Toyotas are supposed to burn oil, aren't they? Because the piston rings are like loose.
It depends on which one it is.
Yeah. I think it's not supposed to be that bad either. It's just it'll just cost a bit more unless there's a problem with the emissions because of it. Then that might be a really bad issue. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
if that'd cause emission issues.
Okay. 30. Trying to climb on. Right. Let's have a see what we can. Oh my God! The Toyota Supra. There's some really nice Toyotas. Toyota Supras. Some of these are the classic 1990s car, the ones used in the Fast and the Furious and all those kind of films, because these cars are built for the scene. They're
Mm,
like the drift cars, and that they have really good maneuverability.
yeah.
Plus, they can be modded to hell. Once again, they're like a really nice PC.
Well, there. Just a piece of engineering.
Yeah, yeah. Like Jonathan said, um, a Kia
Mm?
is another make. A Kia KIA is another
Yeah,
good
I was
make.
looking at Kias.
These are all makes that are. It's in the somewhere like the 90s. The Japanese and the Asian community just started to make much better cars, much more
Yeah.
reliable city cars and area cars and
Hmm.
drift cars. The entire scene changed because their cars were more efficient
Yeah.
and then they knew the aftermarket sales. See, over here,
Hmm.
it took us a long time to realize just how much people like to modify their cars and want to have spare
Yeah.
parts and want to work on their own cars.
Mhm.
And so it never got as big, but you
Mhm.
can still get as many parts you need to reliable cars. But yeah, let me have a see. I'm just, right. Yeah, I mean, okay, look at that. So this is
So,
so what the let's say we were going for a 2000.
are you screen sharing? I can't see.
No, I'm going to just send you this link.
Um.
Once again, remember I'm streaming. Can't really stream and stuff at the same time. I have issues.
Oh. Okay.
So here
Let
are.
me let
Let
me
me
check
just go
it
into
out.
the
I'll let
chat.
you.
Check the chat. See, they still do
Yeah.
it for
Yeah.
the Hyundai i10.
Oh,
Which
cool.
you can get the high. Once you know which one you're having and which specific version you're having, you can get a manual
Yeah.
for the specific make. And those manuals are just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then you can get
What's model variant?
yeah.
What's
So
this?
you'll know when you're actually going, and then you go whether it's
Oh,
petrol, manual, diesel. You go through all
yeah.
that, and then
Petrol.
what engine. It's very detailed. Each and then yep.
Yeah.
And so then your Haynes Autofix, you can get the main manual for you and things like that. All the things that you can to have a basic understanding of your car. It'll tell you what all the fault codes are on it, the vehicle, component tests, even servicing data, video guide.
Hmm.
Everything's built into. They do a new online product. You can navigate the online
Yeah.
product and that, which is nice.
It says you can get like a bundle. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I was in getting a car, hello, Drew. I definitely go a Haynes manual or their modern equivalent that they still do now, because even if you're going to get someone else to do stuff on it, if you know enough to know whether they're screwing you around, then you can get a better price. Never take
Yeah.
if you take a car into a
Mhm.
um, place that you don't know, they will screw you.
Yeah.
Even if they're a
Oh,
reasonable
yeah.
place, if they think they can pad the stuff.
Yeah. By the way, Clever, I bought that scanner, the OBD scanner, and after I tested it on my granddad's car. I plugged it into the port, and my granddad's car is a Mazda, and the Mazdas lock down their cars extremely hard. The modern ones,
Yeah,
like a 20, it's probably a 2018 car or something. I don't know.
yeah.
They lock their shit down hard. And this Bluetooth scanner, even though a lot of the things were locked down, I was able to read a fucking lot of information about the car.
Yeah.
Like, most of these Bluetooth scanners won't be able to do that. Like, you could literally look at the readings from all of the sensors in the
This is
cars
one of
and
the
shit like
reasons
that.
why I always tell people
Yeah.
don't go for a modern car, because modern cars are sold as services these
Oh,
days.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now you
I
have to
know.
pay subscriptions, and they lock down everything, so you've got to go to their dealers because they make the money on the parts now.
Yep.
Whereas
My
if you
granddad
get a
might
car,
find a dealer which can do it. Not a dealer, a mechanic that
yeah,
he gives a fair price and
whereas
that.
you can get a 2000 to 2010 car that is still fuel
Yep.
efficient and still good
Uh-huh.
quality and has massive amount of parts, but it doesn't have the connection to cloud system. It doesn't have all the
No.
updates to turn into a service, so you're still in control of your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're right. Um. Um. Oh. My point was though the scanner thing I have. I think it'll come in handy because when I get my car,
yeah.
basically if you have a problem and you plug it in, it'll if you have a look at the codes and the sensors that come up as like an error, right?
Hmm.
It'll tell you like the common problems and what to check basically, and then if you can diagnose the problem or whatever, it'll tell you what part you'll need and all that shit and where to get your
Yeah,
parts.
that is useful.
Oh yeah,
So I think that's a good thing. But your technical manuals, you'll do that no problem. All that kind of thing's fine.
yeah,
You,
yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I've known when I first had motorbikes, I bought a write-off. You should never buy a
Oh,
write-off. I bought a write-off. Basically, someone
why
I
do you
knew,
have to?
he had a 125 sports bike, really nice looking, and he wrapped it around a lamppost. And he
Oh
was going to
shit.
throw it away. So I had it
Uh
off
huh.
him. It was an insurance write-off completely in that. So I just had it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I took it to one place to said, can you pick this up and can you fix it up to be usable? And they were like, oh, well, we'll have a look at it. And then he came back and the price they were going to charge me would be more than buying a new
Yeah.
motorbike. But what they
Mhm.
didn't know is my next door neighbor was actually a member of the Hells Angels and actually
Uh
had
huh.
been around them for a long. And he was retired, but he was still in. And he loved his bikes. He had classic bikes in the backyard and everything like that. It's how I go into motorbikes. And that,
Yeah.
and so the next time I visited that place, he came with me and actually picked. When they started bringing, he basically picked up the sheet that they were saying all the things that was wrong with it, and actually read through it and basically got. And there was only the main frame. It wasn't actually the forks were damaged and destroyed. I had to have new forks.
Oh
That's
yeah.
fine, but the main frame wasn't bent or anything, so it was actually
Oh really?
fixed. And
Okay.
it cost something instead of it costing about £5,000 back then, and this was in
Mhm.
the 80s. It
Yeah.
ended up costing
That's a
about
lot of money.
£300
Oh
to be usable as a
yeah.
dirt bike on the field.
Yeah.
So I, I after that point in time, I did that thing that, like I said, Vic told me you can't really do it with a car, no, a modern car anyway. And that is take the motorbike apart completely in your backyard, and then put it back
Yeah.
together, and then you know everything about it. With old
Yeah.
motorbikes, you can do that stuff like the Husqvarnas, the Triumphs, the Hondas, from
I
that
mean, I
time.
did stuff like that with my bike, like my cycle,
Hmm.
the thingy bike. But like, well, apart from the headset, I really didn't want to fuck with the
Yeah.
headset unless I had to. But well, to be honest, I never stripped it down completely ever at one time. Just over the years, I just fix it when something went wrong. So it's like I just knew what to do. I didn't want to take it to some thing or I'd just get down to Halfords every time
Oh my
something went
God,
wrong.
the price of these now. Now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something. Now I'm going to put this. I'll put this link in both places. Now these are classed as classic bikes now, and almost impossible to get cheap. I bought my first one for £50. So I'll put the link in the chat and thing, and I'll put it here as well. Now the C90s, the old Honda C90s, 1970s motorbike with the fairing, were the most reliable little bikes for going on the fields and that you could ever want. They may not be too fast. They only had a 90. They weren't very thingy at all. They even had an automatic gear system, which was a bit dodgy, but it worked. It worked. But the thing is, this little thing could go anywhere. And I took my Honda C90 over hills, halfway up like almost mountains and that. This thing would go anywhere with me. This is why this used in India and places like this. These are the kind of ones that they put on the big cabinet on the back and turn them into like mini tuk-tuks for people to ride around in. for the taxis and that, they'll use those kind of things. But they're so reliable. And these, you can hardly get them these days because they're classed as a classic bike. The prices are so ridiculously over the top, you wouldn't believe, for the Honda C90 and C60 and C55. I'd love to get hold of one again just to have one in the backyard and work on it, but you cannot find any that are cheap. They're all above £1,000. It's like, it's crazy. People are selling just the engine for 950 quid because they all class them as classics. It's the most beautiful little engine. Yeah. 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 Yeah, Jonathan, you're right. The CB125, perfect thing. Long as you didn't want to go too, you didn't have to go fast with them. You could just go anywhere and do anything. They were totally and completely reliable. You could rely on them. People choose these big bikes and that to go on tours and that, but I wouldn't trust one of those big bikes from, especially a bike from somewhere like an American make or Western make. But you take something like a Honda C90 or a CB125E type bike, anything in that range from Honda and that, and they'll just go. Reliable for, you could basically explore an entire country, yeah, with one of them, and they're so fuel efficient. Oh my God. I'm just going to get this out because the pie is ready. The pie is ready. Let's put the pie out for me, and then I'll do the dog's food as well. The doggies need their food. They've got to have their food. I'm doing their food a little bit later today. And let me just move that in there. Okay. That and there and there. Gives me enough room to put this on there. Yeah. Yeah. Kawasaki's are amazing built bikes. Once again, the Asians really, really know how to put a bike together for actual use, not just for show.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I just rejoined. I think my mic wasn't working. Yeah, what pie you having?
What am I having?
Yeah, what pie?
It's a chicken and steak pie. Fray
So
bento
it's not
sauce.
soup pie.
No, actually, it's a beef and it's a steak and kidney pie. It's
Oh,
actually
nice.
and it see, I found out that my air fryer can cook a Fray bentos pie in like 9 minutes perfectly.
Really?
Yeah, 9 minutes in a thingy,
Well,
whereas it
like,
takes about 30 minutes
yeah.
in a normal oven.
I guess these pie, they're not. I guess these air fryers are basically like a weird mix between a microwave and an oven. So
Hmm.
yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
If you look at how they actually work, they're basically just a glorified oven,
yeah, yeah.
a convection oven.
Now, that's unusual, Drew. That's unusual,
Hmm.
Drew. Harleys are usually
So,
not. He's talking on the actual chat
yeah,
stream.
I
Harleys
wonder if we
are
should.
usually pain in the asses. I'm taking that you look after your Harley and actually know about mechanical stuff and actually take care of it. You're not one of these people who buy a Harley and have no idea about how to take care of one. Because that's the big difference. You've got
Yeah.
people who basically bankers and stuff who who, nothing against bankers and that, but they'll have their midlife crisis. They'll buy themselves a Harley and decide they're going to travel across the country, and they haven't rode a motorbike before, and they don't know how to look after a
That's
Harley,
tired.
and they just destroy the bike, run it into the
Yeah,
ground, and there's if you know what you're doing and you actually know how to look after a Harley, then yes, they can be very reliable. But they're not a
yeah.
bike for someone who isn't actually knowledgeable and can actually look after them.
Mm.
Because Harleys are beautiful, beautiful creatures. Harleys are. They look more like an actual animal. A Harley is than a motorbike. But you've got to
Oh,
know,
I was mean.
yeah, you've got to know what a Harley, what to look after a Harley.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Same with most cars and that. With
Yeah.
most, but if you get
Well,
like I know people
these
who,
Asian cars.
well, I know people
Is
who
it, go on.
people love the Alfa Romeo. It's a true what's
Oh
called a
no, that.
gearhead car. Alfa Romeo cars are gorgeous, but they are horrible. They they
Why?
because things will always fall off your Alfa Romeo car. Things will always break with the Alfa Romeo, but it is a
Yeah.
great car to teach you how to look after a car. Because everything that you would do in a normal car, you have to do 10 times as much with the Alfa Romeo. They are the most.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy them. Let's have a look on Auto Trader for Alfa Romeo and see what you can find.
Yeah.
But
I
um,
don't. I don't want to have to spend loads of money on a car at the moment, so
yeah,
this probably isn't a good idea to get.
no, it isn't. So let's Alfa Romeo, Alfa
Yeah,
Romeo.
I was from what I understand with like the Asian cars, like, at least ones with Asian engines and stuff. Um, so long as you change the oil out every 5 or 10,000 miles,
Oh,
you're
oh,
pretty much
oh!
fine.
I can see a student buying this and then never being able to afford to buy a house. Let me show you this. Let me copy this and put this in. I'll put it in the main chat as well. And I'll also put it in here. Have a look at that. 900 odd quid.
Let's have a
Um,
look.
have a look at that vehicle there. What we're looking at there. Alfa Romeo 159 needs work.
Needs work. Fiat
um,
fix it again tomorrow.
basically, gorgeous car. Gorgeous car. Beautiful cars. Italian cars. Beautiful
Yeah,
cars. They're a car for someone who wants a beautiful car.
yeah.
But it need you will be working on a car like that forever. But
Yeah,
you will learn so much about cars. You will learn so much and you will
yeah.
figure out so much. It is a gorgeous car, and you don't get cars that look like that for £949. You do not get cars
Hmm.
that look like. But that car,
Not unless there's a damn good reason for it.
yeah, it's beautiful. The interior is gorgeous. Everything. It's well,
Yeah.
but the lot
It
of
reminds me of my dad's old Mini. You know, the original Mini.
yeah,
Not because of how it looked, because he was always welding new floors in
yeah,
for it, or something
yeah,
like that. Or like just something was just broken, and or it was modifying it. You know,
yeah. It's it's
yeah,
crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, there's definitely makes where if you want, like, remember when I bought the Tronxy printer? I told you I bought it
yeah,
because I wanted to be challenged and I needed a project to take my mind off all the crap in the house, and I knew that would
yeah.
be. And if I was into cars, I would have got an Alfa Romeo, just Just because, not because I would ever get it to run, because I wouldn't. It would probably run once every year when it was
Yeah,
feeling right. But yeah,
yeah,
you don't rely on that kind of car to get you from A to B or to get to work or anything. Or if you've got any own by own motor, and you definitely don't go on a long journey without a full set of spares in the boots and a full set of equipment to take you to,
a
and
new
your
car
own
in the
jack
boot.
and everything, and you need
Yeah,
a full kit because otherwise it will cost you so much. But you can do a lot of it yourself. A lot of
yeah,
what's called gearheads, will own an Alfa Romeo and learn from them because they're known to be that kind of car. I
yeah.
wonder if you can
Uh,
still get a classic car. Now, I expect this to be a lot of.
well,
Oh,
depends what you mean by classic car, because the government's definition is basically the cars I am looking at.
no, I'm talking about proper. Okay, let's go back. Let's go
I see them on
for
the
a
road all
make.
the
I want to know if we can get a Ford Cortina Mark One. That's a classic.
time. I don't know that one.
You won't. It's a 1960s and 50s car.
Well, I don't know that much about cars. I know it's only recently started looking
So let's
into
have a
them because I
look.
need.
A Ford Cortina, there's two available, and they're both Mark Twos. So there isn't any Mark Ones available on Auto Trader. I'm not surprised. But if I couldn't find that, Ford Escort XR3i, the old
Oh,
boy racers car that everybody
yeah.
knows, but so we want the XR3i we want, not the XR3. If you want a really nice Ford Escort XR3i, no, you don't want the one with the thingy top because they were always falling apart. The ones
Mm.
with the material tops. We want one
Oh,
with an
yeah,
actual
yeah.
proper roof.
No, I've seen cars with that, and I know that they leak bad. It will not. So I don't want a convertible anyway. It's stupid. It's just a money sink and another mechanism to fail,
Yeah.
and some seals, and you know.
Now this car is I'll put it in both places. This is the classic
Hmm.
boy racer car, but in the 90s and 80s, the XI3i type car,
Hmm.
1994 average time and that.
Yeah,
But if you didn't thrash them, they were actually a good car. If you didn't thrash
yeah,
them, but it's a very exciting car. It sounds really nice, and when you turn a corner in it, you feel it. It's a car
mm,
to be connected to the road. The Ford
yeah,
Escort 1. Is just basically a kind of car you would drive if you wanted to actually enjoy driving
yeah.
and feel the experience of the actual thing. It's not a luxurious car. It's not a car that's going to have. It may not. I don't even know if this one has freaking power steering. It may not even have that. You may actually
I
be
was steering.
directly connected to the road.
Oh my God. How is it not really difficult to turn the wheel all the time, or is it only if
Yes,
you're not
yes,
moving?
yes. But you
What
learn.
the hell?
It teaches you. It teaches
Did
you.
you need like a really strong wrist or something?
Yeah, and
What
also
the
you
hell?
have the issue. You have the things with where the clutch is actually just a cable and you have to
Yeah,
put quite a bit of pressure on it and that it isn't an electric clutch and that so you it's
the
a
clutch
car
is a
where
cable.
yeah I
How can it be a cable? Is it not a disc?
a clutch is well your clutch pedal is connected via cable instead of via the normal system that makes it more easier to use. So basically I remember my dad using one of
Yeah.
these because he used to have one. And
Hmm.
he used to do something. I think it's called quick shifts. And basically,
Okay.
it's basically you take it fast, and then you
Hmm.
very quickly spin through all the gears, and you could hear it was
Oh.
basically slam down the clutch, change the gear, rev it back up, slam down the clutch, rev it up. And it was like listening to a machine gun going off. And it was a gorgeous sound. It was an extremely exciting car to be in. The only car that I had as a child that was more exciting than that was a Land Rover. My dad had a horrible Land Rover. We're talking a Series 2 Land Rover. That's the
Yeah.
one. That's the one. This basically we were an entire family, and this was the Land Rover basically.
Hang on 1 second.
So
Let me look at the screen.
have a look at this one. Control V. I'm putting it in. I'm putting it in the chat anyway. So it's a Mark II. It's a Series 2 Land Rover. Defender. Well, it's before the Defender really is, but basically this vehicle, you could go anywhere. The gear system in it had something like 4 or 5 different knobs in the actual thing that you had to switch up, and so this was used as our family car. And Luke, if you can look at the benches at the back, yes, we sat in the back. My dad and my mum was in the front.
Something like that.
Yeah, and
not all the time, but
yeah.
Yeah, when I was little, I think my dad's friend had. Yeah, it might have been exactly this. I don't know. If it wasn't this, it was something similar.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I sat in the back, it was just 2 rows of benches in the back.
Yeah, and then if you look at the front, there's a picture that shows the actual gear sticks and everything. You've got multiple different. You've got 4-wheel drive. You've got control over the wheels. You can climb a mountain with this thing. They were built to go anywhere and do anything. So even though it was this, it was actually it wasn't a comfortable drive, but you
Whiskey fuel only.
You could basically take this freaking anywhere, and it was beautiful because it was so exciting because you were connected to the road.
Yeah.
A lot of modern cars, you're not connected to the road. There's a computer between you and the road.
Not even the e-brake in a lot of new cars. Like the actual handbrake is connected like manually, which I think is dangerous.
Yeah. But the good thing about the old Defenders, the old Land Rovers like these, they were built to last 100 years, and they were, if you looked after them, their parts very slow to wear out, and the brakes were very good on them. The tires were brilliant. My dad loved. It was a car that he really loved. Was that one? And we loved traveling in the back because as kids it was fun as hell. It was like being in an army vehicle.
Yeah, I know.
Because these old ones still had the old grills at the old machine gun holes in the front for you to open up to pour a machine gun through, because they were built like that. If you look at the front,
God!
Look at the front of the vehicle on that picture. If you look at
Give me a minute. Yeah.
If we go back to the front picture of it, you should be able to see them. Yeah. We go to we need a front. Yeah, it's got. If you look underneath if you look at the front on, you will see just underneath the window screen are 2 little vents that lift up, and literally those could be used. You could put a machine gun or a rifle through that thingy, and
some flaps near the front.
Flaps on the front, and just underneath they're not for show. They're actual real. They open up, and you can actually stick a gun through them. Because this was built around the designs for the war and for the armed forces and that to go places, and they needed to be able to have a way of going there. What guns and that? I mean, some of them even had the side openings for the weapons as well. This one didn't, but yeah.
That makes sense because my dad's friend who had that car, he collected guns. but like and because you're not allowed like actual working guns, basically, all of the barrels were like welded shut or something,
Yeah.
but they were all real. But he had loads.
But yeah, it's so much fun to do all this kind of thing.
Mm,
So I love, as you can see, cars used to be my focus. I used to love
yeah.
cars when I was a teenager.
Mm,
I still
on
adore
motorbike.
them. And then cars, then motorbikes. Because motorbikes
Yes.
became a real passion. I could never
Hmm.
own the only cars I had was the cars my dad had in the garage and that. So
Yeah.
I loved them, but I'd never thingy. But he taught me how to drive in car
Uh-huh.
parks far before I was
Yeah.
old enough. Yeah, feel free to ask Brendan. Ask anything you want. I'm always up for answering questions.
I wanna have a practice in the car park and that.
Yeah.
Uh, only thing is like insurance and that my granddad's worried about. So yeah.
Uh,
Well, not insurance to go in the car park. I think he'll take me around, like let me have a go around the
yeah.
car park. But there's not much like nowhere really to go to practice near me that isn't like got quite a few people in or something.
Yeah.
Um,
And that
so, like,
brings up liability and that if there's people in the car park and that. But yeah,
yeah.
hey, hey, Brendan. I thought Brendan was asking if I wanted to answer a question. He was just saying, "Hey, Queb," not a question. So I shall. We've got the washing's almost ready to go out. I shall put the. Uh, got the gravy
Apparently, I've
there.
got quite a lot of washing to do because I didn't
Eh,
even fill the washing machine. And like, I've still got a fair amount left. Sorry, I did fill the washing machine. I've still got like probably another load of washing
well, we
to
haven't had
do.
many days to dry stuff at all.
No, more like I just not having been bothered to do it because, to be honest, I just shove it on. I have a rack of dry stuff like that on anyway, so you know.
There we are. That's the gravy cooked. And then, right, so we're going to do everything we can for this.
Oh, Quabba, which is the car which is at the dealer which looks dodgy?
What did you say?
Remember you said one of the cars on eBay, the dealership looks a bit dodgy
They
because
both
it has
look
no
dodgy.
rating.
They both look dodgy because both the people that's selling have no feedback.
Does that did I send you
One of
the
them's got
item?
actual feedback like for 2 things sold in the last 6 months. So
Let me try and find the things because I can't remember if I sent you the i10 or not. Because I think the i10 was the one I was going to go look at.
the
I
i10,
sent you that.
I haven't seen the i10, but yeah.
I don't think I sent. Let me show you the i10. I found an i10 which it's a decent price. It's not the cheapest, however, it's got like 60,000 miles or something low like that. It's still under 2,000. Um, Let me see if it's still available. It might not be. Um, Refine, recently added. Um, what's this? It's not. It doesn't even say what it is. Is this it? This might be it. No, this isn't it. I don't know if it's available. No. Uh, oh, it might be this Kia actually. I think it might be this Kia I was looking at. Look, where's this one? This one, it might be this. It's a Kia.
Okay, so I'm just doing the
Oh,
food now at the moment. So I'll be back at my computer in a couple of minutes.
okay.
So I'll have a look as soon as. And there.
Think this is the one. Let me just look. Yeah. This is the one. Right, I'll send you this. I thought it was an i10 for some reason. No, it's Nike. It's a Kia. I almost called it an IKEA then.
Let me just almost finished setting everything up.
I was gonna go look at it, not because I was gonna buy it particularly. I will consider buying it if it's still there by the time I'm ready. But
Hello there,
I
Vida.
just
Hello there, Bernard. Okay, let's have a
hey
look at this
Vida,
car.
hey better.
So you've got that link to me, right? Let me have a look. No, that's a different link. So where have you linked it?
That's DM'd it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty close by as well, so I can get there. Like if I buy it, it's not going to be too bad of a drive for me. You know, like it's like a first
Okay.
proper drive.
Is that the proper checks? Oh, that actually looks in good condition.
Yeah,
It's actually a company as well, not just thingy.
it's not just some average Joe who.
Okay, just
Yeah,
gonna put those and type in. Okay.
you know what might be fun to do? Go down to a dodgy dealership and try and figure out what's wrong with all the cars.
That actually looks pretty good. Let me
Yeah.
just
Are the
the
Kias? I've heard some bad things about Kias. What do you think about them?
I don't think I've heard bad.
I can't remember what it was that I heard about them. I don't remember specific, but I just vaguely remember something being said about them.
Let me one.
Ah, fuck.
Okay, we're gonna just check this out for you.
Okay.
So
Oh shit! I forgot to toast the muffins. Let's get a muffin toasted quickly.
okay, so
And I didn't do my coffee
okay, so
properly.
this is something for you to read up on the Kia before you go and what I'll put it in your
Okay.
DMs. I've DM'd that just.
Okay. What? Just common problems? What? Everything?
Yeah, what they say you've got to check.
Okay.
You want to make sure if any what's the so the engines are well reliable. Yeah, Kia looks pretty great. This actually the Picanto seems pretty like a good one. I don't see any major things. We're doing okay here.
Yeah.
The food's about ready. I'm just going to give the dogs their food. I did things out of turn today and forgot to give the dogs food. Not that that's a problem for them. So let's do the doggies food. They've been waiting very patiently. Well, no, they haven't been waiting very patiently, but they've been dog-like and they haven't tried to eat me. So let's do the doggy food.
So basically, they're very reliable
It's
because
basically
they,
a Hyundai i10, but with a different shell.
yeah,
They're basically
yeah,
the same
okay.
thing. Both are reliable, both are usable, but it's got a proper drive chain and that, so the engine's
Huh.
good. So could be a good one, yeah.
I mean, it's a
And it
decent
looks in
price as
really good
well.
condition as well, and a good price. And the
I think
actual people who sell it
mm,
don't seem to be complete lemons either.
oh, I'll show you another one I saw as well. I think I can't remember what the insurance was like in that one. It's probably decent because I saved it. But this other one here is like it seems like really good because like, the insurance is cheap as well. Here, have a look at this. My dad mentioned these to me.
Beryl!
The type of
Beryl!
car.
Beryl! Come on. I'm going to put the food down for the doggies. If Bertie will get... Bertie, over here. There we are. There. There. Right, the doggies food. Right. Yeah, I'm back. But yeah.
Welcome back.
Can I... But yeah, I would...
Do you see the fox?
Yeah. Let me have a look at that now.
Yeah,
The what?
it's called a fox. That's like
Yeah, don't go for it.
the oh why what have you seen?
Because you've seen that and it's a weakness for you.
What do you mean?
The fact that it's called a fox means that your mind will want to get that.
No, I
Either
literally don't give a shit about
uh, it's only MOT'd till end of October.
that. That's not as bad as having a car which has just been MOT'd by a dealer's mate, and then after a year of driving it around while it's all fucked, you get it checked, and then they tell you you need a new engine or something.
And so let's see feedback on. I don't know about that one. Don't know about that one at all.
Okay.
I don't know about Volkswagen either. All I
Uh,
know about Volkswagen is I got hit by one once.
right, that's not very good.
What are you doing, Bertie?
Uh,
Bertie, did you just eat all of that food? You did just eat both bowls of food. I was distracted. Yeah, your
from
food
what I
disappeared,
understand,
Beryl, because Bertie ate it. Oh well.
from what I understand, I think Volkswagens have engine issues or transmission problems or something to do with reliability. Maybe, I
Hello,
don't know.
there's Vic Stream. That's a weird name, Vic
I know.
Stream Guru. I think it
Hmm.
sounds like someone who's just trying to sell something or who thinks they know what people want. No,
They say don't judge a book
let's
by
not
its
talk
cover
there.
cover.
I have no interest in knowing anything you're going to tell me, Vic.
Why? What's this? What they say?
The sound you're hearing is my washing machine in the backyard. Not the backyard. The washing machine over here. I've got it's running on its spin cycle. Deep Purdus. That's what you're hearing.
It might be my washing machine because I can't hear anything coming from you. I've got a washing machine behind me, but I do have noise cancelling turned on.
Vic Stream, I'm not interested in anything you're selling. Sorry. I have
What they're
enough
going
people.
on about? You shouldn't be trying to sell shit in someone's chat you've just joined, mate.
Yeah, they know nothing about they're just trying to sell their stuff. They're not part of the stream. They're not part of the community. I know that if I wanted anything for my channel, there's people in my own thingy who would do it for me. No, so yeah, it's
Yeah.
no, I don't pay for anything for my channel. I don't do it for money. I don't have any interest in that kind of thing at all. Sorry, it's extreme. So I'm going to go now and eat.
Okay.
We talked about cars a lot today.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll see people on Discord a bit later. So bye bye for now.
Cool. Yeah. See you, Clever.